The Miami Dolphins are in a crucial spot as we inch closer to the NFL trade deadline on November 5th, sitting at 2-3 during their bye week. The big question is, should the Dolphins be buyers or sellers? With their starting quarterback expected to return by the end of the month, this is a decision that could shape the rest of their season and their future. The Dolphins are built to win now. This isn't a long-term rebuild team waiting for the stars to align a few years down the road. They've stacked their roster with veteran talent like Calais Campbell, Terron Armstead, Jordan Poyer, Tyreek Hill, Odell Beckham, Emmanuel Ogbah, Marcus May, and Raheem Mostert, all over 30 years old. They're currently the oldest team in the NFL, meaning their window to win is right now. This roster is designed to contend, and even though their first 5 games haven't been pretty, there's still plenty of time left in the season. Only 1 game out of first place, and with the AFC looking wide open, it would be too early to throw in the towel. Teams like Cleveland, Cincinnati, and the New York Jets are struggling, just like Miami. With a few things clicking, the Dolphins could find themselves back in the race for the playoffs or even the AFC East title, especially if Buffalo falters. But here's the catch: does Miami have the roster to make a serious push? Or is it time to rethink their approach? On one hand, if you believe the Dolphins have been more unlucky than bad, there's a strong case for being buyers at the deadline. With a whopping 10 picks in the 2025 NFL Draft, 7 of which they can trade right now, Miami has the ammunition to make some moves. Imagine bringing in someone to replace the injured Jaelan Phillips or fixing the offensive line, which has been a sore spot. Maybe they could even grab a solid number 3 wide receiver to give the offense an extra punch. This would align with the all-in mentality Miami embraced this offseason. They've committed big money to key players like Tua Tagovailoa, Jalen Ramsey, Jalen Waddle, and Tyreek Hill, signaling that they want to win now. Why not go even further? If you've already invested heavily in this season, using some future picks to patch up the roster makes sense. It's a bold move, but bold moves are sometimes what's needed to turn things around. But there's another side to this. What if the Dolphins need to step back and reevaluate? The hard truth is, things haven't gone as planned. Tua suffered another concussion, Jaelan Phillips tore his ACL after coming back from his Achilles injury, and Jevon Holland is now sidelined. Players like Isaiah Wynn and Odell Beckham haven't made much of an impact, and the faith the front office placed in the offensive line hasn't paid off. If the Dolphins are living in a new reality, not the one they envisioned last summer, then maybe selling at the trade deadline is the better approach. Admitting things haven't worked out is tough, but if Miami wants to set themselves up for a stronger 2025 season, trading for future assets could be the smarter play. Could Miami get a late-round pick for Raheem Mostert from a team desperate for a running back after injuries? Possibly. Would a team looking to shore up their offensive line give up a pick for Terron Armstead? Probably. And here's a big one: should Miami consider moving Jevon Holland? Holland is in the final year of his contract, and with his broken hand, he's not helping them right now. If Miami doesn't intend to re-sign him this offseason, it might make sense to trade him for a 2nd or 3rd round pick. Getting value for him now is better than holding onto him and letting him walk as a free agent, where they'd only receive a compensatory pick in 2026. Let's face it, Dolphins general manager Chris Grier has a history of paying big money to premium position players like quarterbacks, wide receivers, and defensive tackles, but he's shown reluctance to extend other talented players like Christian Wilkins or Robert Hunt. If Holland doesn't fit into those premium categories, it might be time to move him while the value is high.